A few months ago, Mutahi, a few benches ago, you predicted that the next president of this country would be Musalia Mudavadi. Do you still think does he still have a chance?
Musalia Mudavadi will be president, Jeff. I still believe he will be. And I say so because we are waiting to turn a very important corner. And the person who takes us through that corner has to be a guy who is sober, has to be a guy who is reliable and who is predictable. Uhuru Kenyatta, if elected, for whatever reason, problematic. Raila Odinga, if elected, also completely problematic. Either of the two will polarize the country. The only person who will not do that, in my own thinking, will be a man called Musalia Mudavadi. And two, Musalia Mudavadi gives the Kikuyu an opportunity to show this country that they don't have to vote for one of their own. Because the Kikuyu presidency right now is not and cannot be viable. It is unchristian, it is irreligious, you name all those things. It has to be someone who is not from the house of Emma. And when some of the other Kibaki was there supported non-Kikuyu in the person of Raila Odinga, is because they believed there was no alternative. But when Musalia presented himself, I think it provides the Kikuyu that opportunity to say, look, we are not that selfish. And if that's the situation, that's the only way they should go.
And Musalia can beat Raila first round or second round?
It really depends. Depends very much. If Musalia gets the support of your uncle in the Hill, and if he has a guy like Peter Kenneth as his running mate, for instance, then the possibilities are that they might put up a good show that could take us pretty far. But if he behaves like Kalonzo Musyoka, whose ratings were very high a while ago, and because he believed that the presidency will be brought to him, then he won't go far. Yeah.
Could Kalonzo link up with Raila for a second round to defeat Musalia and whoever?
Whoever Kalonzo links up with, who can't go anywhere. Not worth discussing, really. I don't think it will go anywhere. Reason being that Kalonzo Musyoka is seen by many as an opportunist, as a guy who believes in entitlement, that this thing is mine. And even if he links up with Raila or whatever, he cannot increase the value of his candidature, in my view.
Yeah. The other day there was a headline in the paper, Kibaki's in a dilemma now, whether to back Uhuru, whether to back his project. And we all know his project is Musalia. He's in that dilemma.
Kibaki will betray Uhuru Kenyatta. I told you that last time I was here. He will betray him. And Uhuru Kenyatta has begun to realize, it's going to happen. Kibaki has never seen a guy he never betrayed. I told you that last time. And he will do it.
Or a fence he couldn't sit on.
Offense he could. That's why he's president. He became president by sitting on fences and by betraying people. And he will not betray him because Kibaki is a bad man. Increasingly, I'm beginning to like him. You know, I've been one of his worst critics.
Yes,
and I don't wish anybody a critic like me, not even myself. But increasingly, I'm beginning to think that he is not very bad. And especially depending on how he will handle this particular process.
Yeah.
When he supported, when we began to imagine that he's supporting Mudavadi, it occurred to me, this man is not as bad as I thought.
And he's not as asleep as we thought.
He is not as asleep as we thought. And I think Kibaki is probably a smart guy. All he has done is he has looked down. When we gave him half a loaf of bread, Raila ate the half he was given. What has Raila done with the half a loaf we gave him? Almost nothing. But Kibaki seemed to have used it to construct roads. And that's a legacy we will live with. And it appears like for that legacy to continue, the succession has to happen right. And it cannot happen through Uhuru Kenyatta. So he has got to betray him. And betray him like in The Godfather, tell him nothing personal.
Yeah.
This is just what I have to do.
It's just business. And then if he gets a younger looking Kibaki, which is Musalia.
Yes, younger looking Kibaki, Musalia, yes, that's true. But you know, Kibaki is very irritating. So in his silence, is the fact that he doesn't care. He tells you, do whatever you want to do, but I'm doing my thing, which is constructing roads. If Musalia can tell us that, but also be a little more tolerant about politics, then that would be a good choice.
Yeah.
But more for the liberation of the House of Gema, if I must insist, that they need to be liberated from the chauvinism that has been of that particular house. And the only way to liberate them from that is to give them a candidate that is completely different from what they're looking for. And to have them betray Uhuru Kenyatta also will be a painful thing, but that will be the price they have to pay for liberation.
So they betray him, they send him to The Hague, and he sorts himself out.
No, not necessarily. They will betray him for now. But you see, Uhuru can go to The Hague and come back, having been released, because he will be released. And after 5 years, he can still run. And the Kikuyus will say, we supported Musalia Mudavadi at least, now maybe he can support our guy. So Uhuru's life is not over yet. Not over until it is over. But it depends on how he plays this. The time for him to become president is not now.